Everything is a drum.
Hey! Alright, like a lot of people out there, I've dabbled in the art of driving for Uber. And by no means am I an expert Uber driver. After all, my Uber career was pretty short-lived. And by short-lived, I mean I drove a whopping 3 customers before I quit. But if you're out there...
I signed up to drive for Uber Eats, within the last 6 months. And yeah, I did 5 deliveries and I was just like, fuck this. My second delivery, I picked up an entire load of fucking shopping for some woman and had to carry it up her fucking stairs. I was like, I'm sorry, I thought I was delivering McDonald's to hungover people. I didn't realize I was bloody carrying motherfuckers shopping up and down the stairs. So yeah, I feel him.
Wondering what it's like to be an Uber driver? Well, let me tell you about my experience. Now, it's
Tell
important
us.
to note that this was years ago, back when I was in the middle of what I like to call my quarter-life crisis. And that was when I was working a dead-end job at a car dealership, I was broke as hell, and I was just sucking ass at life in general. Oh, and not to mention I had the IRS on my ass for back taxes, so that was fun. So running out of options, as well as running out of shit to sell out of my house, I registered to become an Uber driver. Now, this was when ride-sharing was still relatively new. To be honest, I didn't know much about it. Hell, the first time I saw Lyft drivers with mustaches on the front of their cars, I was like, what the hell? We're putting fucking facial hair on Buicks now? God damn, I remember wood paneling on station wagons back in the day, but this shit's ridiculous. Now, needless to say, I was pretty hesitant to become a driver in the first place. I mean, is this Uber thing even legitimate? Am I gonna pick some random stranger up on the side of the road and then be robbed at knife point for the 47 cents in my center console? Stabbed in the pelvis with a shank, 1 out of 5 stars. Well, considering I was broke as hell, I didn't have much of a choice. Let's roll the dice, Uber. Let's see what you can do for me. Now, like I said, my Uber career was really short. 3 customers is all it took for me to quit. My first customer, or passenger, or fucking ride-along buddy, whatever you want to call him, was a businessman that was out of state. So I pull into the parking lot of the hotel that this guy's staying at, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Does the guy sit in the back seat, or does he sit in the front seat? Do you let him fuck with the radio if you want? Do you high-five him when he gets out of the car? What the fuck is this gonna be like? This is so weird. So this guy starts walking out, and he looks normal enough, I'd say. So I try to be polite and lean over and open the passenger door for him. All of a sudden, this guy looks at me like I'm some kind of fucking pervert, and I'm trying to have my way with him in the front seat and shit. Oh, alright, well that answers the first question. Everybody sits in the back seat. Unless you're a pervert, you're up front. So we start cruising along in silence, and the silence is pretty palpable at this point because, well, there's a grown man in my car that thinks I just actively tried to seduce him in the front seat. So I figure, how about a little bit of small talk to ease
this is
tensions
gonna
in
get
the
bad.
car. So are you from out of town? Yeah, that's why I'm staying in a fucking hotel after all. Oh, okay, well, I'll go fuck myself. How about that? Okay, and we're 0 for 2. But believe it or not, the guy didn't write me off completely. Hey, so what's a good place to eat around here? A good place to eat? Dude, I don't know. I eat fucking Del Taco 5 times out of the week. The hell, I'm a fucking tour guide for the shitty city I live in? You ever been to the Applebee's? Their wonton tacos are pretty good. Needless to say, we didn't talk much after that. That's what happens when you offer up Applebee's as a viable place to eat. Guys in the back seat probably questioning my mental capacity. Fucking Applebee's, is this guy serious? Hey, why don't you just keep your attention on the road and try not to hurt yourself? Finally, we pull up to this guy's destination. He gets out of the car. We do not high-five whatsoever. But he does give me a $5 tip. Now, granted, I think he just felt bad because he thought I had some kind of condition of some sort. Do you have some kind of donation jar in there like they have at gas stations? Or do I just give the money to you? But I don't care. $5 tip plus $15 for the ride, that's 20 bucks I made. I mean, that's 20 bucks the IRS made, but at least I got to touch him for a little while. Now, my second...
That's 20 bucks the IRS made. Isn't it that thing where your account is overdrawn by $20, which means you need $20 to be broke?
Rider happened shortly after my first, and to be honest, nothing really happened. We just sat there and talked about how shitty of a show Full House was back in the day. Yeah, fucking Full House sucked ass, didn't it? And Dave Coulier was fucking weird. Yeah, I concur. Fuck the Olsen twins while we're at it. Again, there was no high five, but I did make 12 bucks, and I got a $2 tip on top of it. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, what the hell? You're driving around, making money, talking shit about Full House? Being an Uber driver sounds great. Well, sit your ass down, you haven't even heard about my third customer. Now, at this point, it's like midnight, and I'm tired as hell, but I'm still active on Uber because, well, last time I checked, I'm still broke as hell. So I'm half awake, and I get a goddamn notification on my phone of a new rider, and of course, it's on the shittiest side of town that nobody wants to go to. I gotta sit there and have a conversation with myself. Do I really want to get up right now? Do I really want to go to the fucking hood? You bet your silly ass you do. Now get in your Ford Taurus and go make daddy some money. So I get in my car and off I go to the fucking fucking armpit of the city, and I pull up to this guy who's standing on the sidewalk with a book bag, and needless to say, he looks like he's a few french fries from a fucking Happy Meal. Oh boy, well this doesn't look too promising, now does it? So this guy gets in the car, and I have to say that this guy reeks. Now I don't know what methamphetamine smells like. It wasn't exactly a scratch and sniff sticker when I was a kid, but if I had to guess, it would be this guy 100%. But at this point, I'm like, whatever. Methamphetamine, schmethamphetamine. Let's just drive this guy wherever he wants to go. Let's not think about whatever this guy's all hopped up on, or how many barbiturates are in his book bag. Let's just take this guy wherever he needs to go. So again, I try to have some casual conversation to break up any tension. Hey, you see over there by that liquor store and that dead hooker in the street? Yeah, there used to be a Denny's right there. Yeah, it's good. Denny's is good. Well, this guy could give a fuck about Denny's. In fact, he could give a fuck about anything, because all he's doing is sitting there muttering to himself like a psychopath. So now I start freaking out, because clearly this guy's unstable. It's only a matter of time before he whips out a knife from that book bag, and I'm negative 47 cents. So I start thinking, alright, you need to strategize here. Maybe you should, start doing some weird shit yourself. Give the guy a taste of his own medicine. No. Alright, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid as hell.
Fuck, I was gonna say.
Like, intimidate him somehow, you know? Hey, just a warning, buddy. I keep a fucking flamethrower in the trunk of my car, so no funny business. But I'm not gonna be able to intimidate this guy. He's whacked out of his mind. Not to mention fucking Drops of Jupiter's playing on the radio right now. That she's back in the atmosphere. Drops of Jupiter in her hair. Yeah, I'm not intimidating jack shit, that's for sure. I might as well be fucking Pippi Longstockings in the driver's seat, for Christ's sake. Now, thankfully, this guy didn't request a very long trip. It was just a couple of blocks. He easily could have walked it, which I'm surprised he didn't, because I thought meth heads had a lot of pep. Apparently not this guy. So we reach his final destination, a pawn shop next to a crime scene or whatever the fuck it was. And this guy opens the door, but he doesn't get out at first. Instead, he starts rummaging through his book bag. That's when I start thinking, yep, I knew it. I'm about to get shanked for pocket change. God damn it. Meanwhile, Drops of Jupiter's blaring out into the streets and shit. Na, 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 na. And this guy keeps searching for whatever it is he's looking for. Finally, he finds it, and you wouldn't believe it if I told you. This guy pulls out of his book bag a fucking thing of Tic Tacs. Oh, thank Jesus, holy hell. It's a bit anticlimactic, I know. But you guys can kiss my ass. I was happy not to get shanked by a shank. So the dude gets out of my car, and right before I peel out of there like Smokey and the Bandit, I look at my phone to see how much money I made, and it was a whole $5.50. Oh, what the hell? That was an accessory to a third-degree felony for a whopping $5.50? My car smells like a fucking burning bucket of army guys, for Christ's sake. You could at least give me a tip. Your tip is you got to keep your life, you little baby back bitch. So needless to say, I retired from the Uber life after that. Jesus. And decided that making shitty cartoons for the internet was a slightly safer way to make money. So the lesson here is, if you're gonna drive for Uber, make sure you have some fucking Tic Tacs. Because meth heads can be pretty scary, but they still care about having fresh breath. The end.
I don't think they do. Yeah, that was, I believe all of that. I absolutely believe all of that. I've been in a situation where I was at a train station by myself very early on like a Saturday morning, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. And there was me and one other dude walking down the platform, and he was just walking towards me holding a fucking screwdriver. So I'm sitting there exactly the same. I'm like, alright, I'm about to get fucking murdered. He can have the $15 in my wallet. Like, whatever, man. Like, I was absolutely shitting myself. This guy walks over, sits right the fuck next to me as well. He looked like he'd been up for like 3 days. And, a weird thing happened. He asked me, he's like, where you going to? So I mentioned the station that I'm going to, and he goes, oh, do you know this particular person? And he asked me this person's name, and I did actually fucking know that person, which was crazy. I went to high school with him, and I was alright with him. Like, he was okay, like we were kind of mates. And I was like, yeah, I'm friends with him. And this guy puts his screwdriver away, and then just started talking, fucking, drug addict, fucking shit. Oh yeah, man, blah, 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 like just fucking like that. But I swear to God, I very, very narrowly avoided getting stabbed and mugged that morning because I feigned that I was way more friends with this dude that I went to high school with than I actually was.